Hi, my name is Melodee, and I want to begin by thanking you for being here today. I believe that two of our greatest assets are our time and our health. And I appreciate anyone willing to give up a little bit of their time to learn a little bit more about their health. I live in the great state of Utah, and at the beginning of my life, I was a little kid, of course, and then I became a computer professional. And because of my great love of health, I eventually drifted into working doing computers in the health field, and now I am a massage therapist, which I've been for 28 years. I have 2 children and 5 grandchildren, and I'm so excited to tell you today about these things that we have. I was introduced to this amazing technology and have come to agree with the statement that this is the single greatest health science breakthrough of our lifetime. That's a pretty incredible thing to say. I would like to spend the next 30 minutes with you sharing what redox signaling molecules are and why you need them. Then we will watch a quick draw video to help reinforce what you've learned. We'll discuss a few of the scientific research studies that have been done, and we'll tell you a little bit more about the company. To better understand redox, we need to dip our toes into a little bit of science. Our bodies are made up of between 75 and 100 trillion cells. These cells are essentially little bags of salt water. Think about when somebody goes to the hospital. They start a saline drip, which is a salt water solution. Your tears are salty, your sweat is salty. You get the picture. Cells have 4 main functions: protect, detect, repair, and replace. This is called apoptosis, which is where a cell is designed to destroy itself if it cannot be properly repaired. Then a healthy cell is replicated to replace it. In every cell is a structure called mitochondria, the battery packs of the cells. The mitochondria are where the cellular energy, or ATP, is produced. Until 1998, it was believed that a byproduct of the cellular energy production was a waste product. But in 1998, a Nobel Prize was awarded for the discovery that this waste product was actually redox signaling molecules. Since that time, many scientific bodies have been trying to recreate and stabilize these molecules. However, it was considered impossible because positive and negative molecules existing together are fleeting. It's like putting hot and cold water together in the same bucket and expecting it to stay that way. The National Institute of Health has given 3 grants to 3 major universities for redox research, and both Vanderbilt and Harvard now have their own redox research centers. Wake Forest University just started a school of redox biology and medicine. The University of Nebraska just opened a new school of redox biology and wellness. If the University of Nebraska, Wake Forest University, and all the others are opening specializations in redox, what does that mean? It means the world at large is going to start agreeing. There is a principle called reductant and oxidants in biology and wellness that's fundamental to health. Now, we can't say the word medicine because we are not a drug, but these schools are called redox biology of medicine. So what they are saying is redox phenomena are becoming the next wave of not only wellness, but in their words, of medicine. This means in 5 years, people will have degrees in redox biology. What we have known for over 10 years is finally reaching the world. To get a better visual understanding of this technology and how it works in the cells of our body, let's watch a quick fun draw video.
The human body is an extraordinary creation, made up of between 50 and 100 trillion cells, each one performing just the right function in just the right place at just the right time. Your cells themselves are amazing. Each one is a bustling metropolis of activity, a city that never sleeps. Every second of every day, your cells work tirelessly to keep your body healthy and strong. One of the major functions of your cells is the production of fuel. This fuel, known as ATP, is actually created by workers inside the cell called mitochondria. Mitochondria are so vital and important that a single cell can have thousands of these little workers. In fact, it is estimated that half of the dry weight of the human body is made up of mitochondria. Mitochondria do more than supply the body with the fuel it needs. They also play a key role in cell signaling and communication, coordinating the actions and activities of your cells. When you think about it, this kind of signaling is essential for health and life, since it is the foundation for things like cell development, tissue repair, and immune functions. Without the ability to communicate and coordinate the activities of cells, we would fall apart pretty quickly. The mitochondria's role in this vital communication system lies in the fact that they make special molecules, called redox signaling molecules. The mitochondria make these molecules by the trillions, every second of every day. Good thing, too, because without these redox signaling molecules, life itself would be impossible. You need these molecules to protect the health of your cells, to detect threats and damage, and to repair or replace injured cells. Unfortunately, as we get older, our ability to make redox signaling molecules diminishes. Ever notice that bumps and bruises that disappear in no time on a child seem to last forever on someone who is elderly? The cells in that older person simply aren't communicating as efficiently as they did when they were younger, and so cells and tissues take longer to repair themselves. And all because the body isn't making as many redox signaling molecules as it used to. But what if there were a way to replenish your supply of these amazing little molecules? What if there were, in essence, a redox signaling supplement? How would your life change if you had a supply of redox signaling molecules like you did when you were younger? Such a product would be incredible, but how would you go about making it? Well, a good start would be to understand how the mitochondria in your trillions of cells make these vitally important molecules. Your cells are little bags of salt water. The mitochondria and other organelles inside the cell float around in this salt water. It's not surprising, then, that when the mitochondria need building blocks for creating redox signaling molecules, they use something they have plenty of: salt water. It works out pretty great because salt water is made up of just 4 atoms: the sodium and chloride atoms in salt and the hydrogen and oxygen atoms in water. The mitochondria pull apart these saltwater molecules, then recombine the atoms in different configurations. The new combinations are, guess what? Redox signaling molecules. Things happen so fast inside the cells that these redox signaling molecules are manufactured in just fractions of seconds. And they get used quickly too. And if the cells don't need the redox signaling molecules right away, the atoms convert back into salt water, ready to be used again and again by the mitochondria. It's a very efficient system. So to make a redox signaling supplement outside of living cells, it makes sense to start with the same building blocks: salt and water. That's just what a company called Asea does. We begin with a pure, pristine saline solution. Then, using a highly protected and patented electrochemical process, we break apart the bonds that hold the sodium, chloride, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms together. These free-floating atoms are then recombined in new configurations, and voila! Redox signaling molecules. Of course, the process sounds a lot easier than it really is. Your mitochondria make redox signaling molecules in fractions of seconds. Asea takes 3 full days to make the same molecules. But the real triumph for Asea came in overcoming the issue of stability. Remember that redox signaling molecules made in the cell get used right away or else turn back into salt water? That's because redox signaling molecules are very reactive. They want to get busy and start working right now. This reactive nature makes it difficult to keep these molecules around for long. They want to get used or they'll revert back into salt water. Fortunately, After countless hours of research and experimentation, the scientists at Asea reached a breakthrough. They discovered a process for pairing these highly reactive molecules into balanced sets, stabilizing redox signaling molecules outside of living cells. This really is something extraordinary. Molecules that last just microseconds inside the cell have a shelf life of over a year in a bottle of Asea. Amazing! So what does Asea, the world's first redox signaling supplement, mean for you? Simply put, it's an entirely new approach to health. Every other health and wellness product, vitamins, exotic juices, everything, tries to help the body by giving it something foreign, something the body has to try to figure out how to use. Not so with Asea. The molecules in Asea are native to the body. See, your body already knows how to take care of itself. Your cells actually make the tools they need, and for the first time in history, you can replenish and reinforce those tools. You can, in fact, give your body more of the native molecules it needs to take care of its own health. Asea is more than a mere supplement. It is a foundational approach to health and wellness, a fundamental shift in how we take care of ourselves. So are you wondering just what Asea can do for you? There's one powerful way to find out. Talk to the person who shared this message with you. Get your hands on a case of Asea and feel for yourself the effects of the world's first and only redox signaling supplement. Your life and your approach to your own health will never be the same.
So, why do we need to supplement with these molecules if we produce them in every cell of our bodies? Well, we lose the ability to produce them as efficiently as we age. Starting at puberty, we begin to decline at a rate of 10% per decade of life in our ability to produce this redox. And many factors contribute to this decline. With aging, we have fewer and less efficient mitochondria. We are exposed to toxicity, pollution, and disease. Think of a little child who can run around and play all day, fall down, go boom, and then the next day, they're not hurting or sore. Their bodies heal and repair very effectively. Here's an analogy often used to describe this. Think of your body as a house. There's a fire in your house somewhere. You need to call the fire department. If you pick up your cell to call, but have no signal, your message to the fire department will not get through. When they don't get the message that there's a fire, they're unable to come and assist. The same thing happens in your body. Your cells need to be able to signal so that the repair crew gets the message and shows up. If you think about it, all health issues in the body are rooted in damaged cells. Asea is your easy button. It doesn't matter what the issue is or where it is. It involves cells that need to communicate in order to repair, replace, protect, and detect. Asea is made from salt and water in our labs in Salt Lake City, Utah. They use a 3-step process. These molecules are considered native to the body, which means the exact same thing that is in your bottle of Asea is in every cell of your body. It is impossible to be allergic to this product. There's no level of toxicity and no negative interaction with meds or other supplements. Asea has no LD50, and LD50 is the dosage at which a product becomes lethal for 50% of test subjects, usually mice. When researchers tried to find an LD50, they said they'd have to drown our mice in Asea to cause harm. The company would not allow this. Why would an extreme measure have been necessary to reach an LD50? Well, researchers said that the more Asea they gave the mice, the healthier they became. So what happens when you drink Redox? Does it cure everything? No, it is neither acceptable nor accurate to say that Asea cures or prevents any condition in the body. It is truly your body and your cells that do the healing. Asea just gives the cells the ability to communicate more efficiently so that they can perform their functions more effectively, protecting, detecting, repairing, and replacing. Now, you do want to have reasonable expectations while taking Asea. For many of us, it took a long time to get our bodies into the shape we are in, and it's going to take a little time for the tissues to heal and repair themselves. On average, 30% see improvement in some area in 30 days, 60% in 60 days, and 90% in 90 days. Understanding the science just a little will help those with more significant challenges understand the need to stick with it a little bit longer over a longer period of time. With every case of Asea comes a tracker form. It is very important to fill this out. You can customize it to fit your needs. When you take redox molecules, you don't get to tell them where to go. Your body has an inherent wisdom and will utilize them where it sees fit. By taking inventory first, you will be in tune with the subtle changes that occur as your cells begin to communicate more efficiently. Now, I would like to turn the time over to LoriAnn, who will tell us more about herself, the science, the studies, and the company. Thank you, LoriAnn.
Hey, thanks, Melodee. Such important, amazing information that you just shared. Thanks for doing that. My name's LoriAnn Garner, like Melodee just said, and my background is in radiology and mammography, and I have been I have a health nutrition supplement store that I ran, and I also was trained as a nutrition assistant at the University of Utah State University. So I'm really honored to be here today to be able to present these studies and the results that Asea has had with this product and technology. So thanks so much for letting me share, and let's get talking about the studies here. Okay, so Tara Lab did a gene study, and Asea actually redesigned their label to print the results of this study on the back of the bottle. The gene study was done over 8 weeks. Participants were an average age of 35 and fairly healthy. In 100% of the participants, 100% of the participants, improvements were measured in 5 different genetic pathways of the body. Improved immune system health, healthy inflammatory response maintenance, support of cardiovascular health and arterial elasticity, improved gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulated hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. So there was improvement in expression of these genetic pathways, and it was between 20 to 31% in all participants. Now, Dr. David Neiman of the University of North Carolina Human Performance Laboratory performed a metabolomic study with Asea. And Dr. Neiman is the Vice President of American College of Sports Medicine, the author of 9 books on physiology and exercise testing, and has over 200 peer-reviewed articles and over 300 articles in health and wellness magazines. All of his studies are double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled. Dr. Neiman's study showed that within 30 minutes of ingesting Asea, the body starts to mobilize fat from your abdomen and then goes out into your bloodstream as medium chain free fatty acids. These free fatty acids can be used as a fuel source. So when you're on Asea, you begin to burn fat as a fuel source first. Fat burns and produces ATP, also known as cellular energy, about 6 to 8 times more efficiently than muscle glycogen or stored glucose. Also, when you're burning fat, you don't produce lactic acid, which builds up in your muscles and makes you sore the next day. This is important not only for athletes, but also for us average people who likes to be sore. Professional athletes and weekend warriors have noticed Asea reduces their recovery time. So if you don't have to use your cellular energy for normal activities of daily living, your cells have more cellular energy to perform, like what Melodee was just teaching us about: protect, detect, repair, and replace. Also, another study done by Dr. Niemann, they put little mice on little mice treadmills and measured how far they could run till exhaustion. Then they split into two groups. They put half on Asea and half on a placebo. The placebo that was used was salt and water in the same concentration as Asea. So keep in mind, many naysayers on the internet will say Asea is just salt and water. However, we have taken the salt and water through some very advanced electrobiochemistry, rearranged the molecules, and they are no longer salt and water. They are redox molecules. It's kind of like when you take a cake and you bake it. And I want you to think about this. When you bake the cake, you take eggs, flour, and sugar, and you mix these together. And when baked, a molecular change occurs. You have cake, not eggs, not flour, not sugar. It's the same with redox. So let's go back to the study now. Mice on Asea ran 29% further on average than the control group and further than before Asea. There was 33% increase in the sparing of muscle glycogen because they were burning fat as a fuel source. So who doesn't want to burn fat as a fuel source? Okay, now let's talk about the cholesterol study by Dr. Niemann. He took 106 overweight women, ages 20 to 73. He gave them Asea for 12 weeks. The findings were a significant reduction in oxidized LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. And Asea increased the body's own antioxidant glutathione efficiency by 500 to 800%. Dr. Niemann, quote, "We found that drinking 4 ounces of Asea a day for 12 weeks reduces LDL levels in the blood, a highly significant finding. And if you can keep your oxidized LDL low, it goes down." What are others saying about Asea? Forbes 2019, a super supplement to repair damaged cells. Huffington Post 2016, 5 emerging technologies in science that will shape our lives in coming years. Redox Congress was held in Paris on June 2019, and over 20 doctors presented their studies on redox. Dr. Brian Clement, head of Hippocrates Institute, did his own year-long double-blind study, and he said, "We would strongly advise utilizing this important contribution to human health." Dr. James Watson, co-discoverer of the double helix structure of DNA, a well-respected scientist, said, "Type 2 diabetes, cancer, and brain disorders are a lack of redox signaling molecules." At pubmed.gov, if you type in redox, over 314,000 articles come up. If you type in redox signaling, there are over 33,000 articles. If you type in redox signaling plus the condition you're wondering about, you can access an archive of articles. So check it out at pubmed.gov. There's currently over 1,200 textbooks written and 5 Nobel Prizes awarded in redox science. The good news is getting out. Okay, now let's talk about Asea decided to make a topical application out of their molecules. They added a clay and a pH balancer to the original product and made a gel called Renew 28. It was first developed as a skincare product. We now know it as a whole body skin therapy. Dermatest is a renowned third-party lab and has done extensive testing on Renew 28, giving it a 5-star rating for safety and effectiveness. Renew 28 is part of a redox-friendly skincare system, which is deserving of an entire presentation in and of itself. So now let me introduce you to our Asea Via line. It's a complete cellular wellness supplement. With redox molecules, we have the labor. Add the nutritional line, and we have the materials to support complete nutrition. So you are continually repairing and updating, so to speak. It's a lifelong process. If you had a construction crew show up with all of the best equipment and muscle in the world, with a trailer full of materials that didn't show up, or only a fraction of your materials showed up, you'd get very little done. So in your body, redox is the labor force, the crew that does the work to repair and remodel your house. The nutrients you take in and absorb are the materials and the building blocks the crew will use to do their work. So even if we have a balanced, healthy diet, it's nearly impossible to get all the nutrients we need from the food we eat. We must simply supplement our diets. These whole food micronutrients are patented to be bioavailable, which means our bodies and our cells can absorb them and utilize them to their full potential. This is key when choosing a supplement for your body. So now I'd like to spend a few minutes giving a quick story of how we came to be Asea. I think it speaks to the heart of who we are and who we are in business with. And it all started with this man, Vertus Norton. Vertus was a successful businessman, a retired executive VP of strategy from Kraft Foods. And in retirement, he was asked to help run a biotech company and later asked to sit on the board. He wanted to understand what they were trying to accomplish. The company could produce the redox molecules from salt and water, but it required a special machine. And the molecules were only stable for about 20 minutes, so it wasn't a marketable model. However, Vertus began drinking this product and he noticed that his thinking cleared up. He had more energy. He was in his 60s at the time. When it was later discovered the company was out of money and significantly in debt, they were sold to an energy company who began to sell off the assets. Vertus, knowing this was something valuable, was able to purchase the technology with the help of an investor friend. His plan was to stabilize the molecules and sell the technology. It was a business opportunity in the beginning. So they hired Dr. Gary Samuelson, an atomic medical physicist, who was eventually able to stabilize the molecules. The product was presented to a big pharma company, and they did their due diligence and offered a check big enough that they wouldn't want to talk to anyone else. However, they said they were going to take it through the FDA process. And in order to do so, it couldn't be in the hands of the public. They'd have to cease production immediately. Well, before this meeting, Vertus had started a focus group for the product, and they wanted to see if people would take it, because for some people it tastes like pool water. They chose 40 people and gave them all the product that they could need. And 6 of these people were significantly challenged in their health. After 2 months, they checked on their focus group. They found the 40 had shared with 135 people in 20 different countries. They had their answer. People would drink this product. The terms of the deal would have taken this product away from these people who were benefiting from the redox, whose bodies were improving in their ability to communicate at a cellular level. So Vertus, who had started this journey as a business venture, chose to turn down the money. He chose the people. He realized this was about more than money. It was about helping people. They were then faced with the problem of how to get it out into the world on a larger scale. People didn't know what redox was, and placing it on a shelf in a store with the ingredients that said salt and water was not a good model. So they chose network marketing And this model lends itself to having a conversation, a chance to explain a little of the science to foster understanding. I am so proud to be in business with these people and very proud to share this product. And as Virtus would say, we are all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment we begin influencing the future. We can change the world. And I like to add, one cell at a time, one person at a time. I'll be forever grateful to the person who had the courage and the persistence to share these molecules with me. This ends our presentation, and we invite you to get back to the person who invited you here today. And for those of you that would like to learn more and join us and learn more about the business opportunity, we have more testimonials and a business opportunity presentation on Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So remember, if you've got any questions or you want more information, please talk to the person who invited you here today. Thank you. Goodbye.